Good morning, welcome to a rather sunny River Stour. Now this is not the session I had planned today at all. I'll run you through that in a minute, exactly what's happened. But we're out now and I wanted to do some trotting. I wanted to take advantage of the relatively still weather at the moment. We've got some big winds coming later on in the week, so I did want to come out and just take advantage of this, as I say, relatively still conditions. It's very flat up here, it's often very windy, but it's just a gentle breeze today. It's a bit chilly, but the river looks in good condition. I've come to my favourite trotting peg, I think probably one of my favourite ones anyway, certainly for anything but chub, because I'd like to catch something other than chub. It's been chub all the way recently, so I fancy doing something different. If we do catch some chub, I'm certainly not going to complain. However, I've come here because in weeks gone by, we've had some roach in this run through here. So I'm thinking, as we've not been able to get in contact with any roach on the Avon, perhaps we'll get in touch with some on here. That's the thinking anyway. Very simple today. I've got some white maggots, got some red maggots. I think I'm going to use reds as we're looking at targeting the roach. I've put a little bit of Census 3000 gross gardens in just to get a bit of smell down. There's not really anything in it. Certainly nothing that I've put in it, and we'll have a crack. That's the plan. We're going to start sprinkling some maggots in and let's see what we can do. Now this is a bit of a gamble coming up here. This last couple of times I've been up, which was a few weeks ago, it's not fished great, and I did see a match result from last week and it was one with a £2 chub. So that does not bode well at all, but we'll have a go for reasons that I'll fill you in on in a minute. As I say, this wasn't my first choice of venue. I'm sure we could have gone down the Avon and perhaps caught some chub, but as I say, we've been doing a lot of that lately, so I thought I fancied a change. What I actually did this morning was went to my neighbour's stretch near home. Thought I'd have a little go there. There's usually some roach around in there, sort of deep, wide, slow stretch. Well, I gave it an hour. I couldn't buy a bite. So I just thought, no, if there were fish here, we'd have had one by now. So I thought, no, we need to move. And hence coming up here again, like I say, to see if we can find some roach. That's the plan. I mean, I'm sure if I go into Stratford town centre and fish the middle of town, we'd catch some roach. We've had a frost last night. I mean, it's not that warm. It's about 4 degrees at the moment. Bit of a breeze here, as I say, but nothing too bad. We'll have an hour here, I think. If we're not doing any good, we'll perhaps have a little bit of a move, and if we're still not doing any good, we'll call it a day. You know, there's a reason I do a lot of chub fishing this time of year. That's because they oblige, whereas lots and lots of other species switch off. The roach should be obliging as well, hence me trying to target some, but at the moment, nowhere to be seen. I'd like to have a nice mixed bag today, but I don't think that's on the cards. But if we can catch a few roach, I'll be very, very happy, I have to say. Gear-wise, I've got my Daiwa 13-foot connoisseur, 125M close face reel, and a Drake alloy stem stick float on there. This is a stepped one. It's a little bit more sensitive. I shotted down. We certainly will have if we haven't got it shotted down. Right, let's have a go. Well, it's not ripping through, which is not necessarily a bad thing. A little bit over depth there. I think we're just dragging bottom, judging by the floats reacting. You know, I could fish a waggler here and it's not charging through at all, but if we do go for a bit of a rove and try some different swims, it may be that we need a stick float on. We fish some faster water. Well, we've had 20 minutes in there. We've not had a sniff. So I'm thinking, time for a move. I think if we were going to get any bites in here, we'd have had one by now. We'll have a move. bite. That was a bite. Definitely. A fish, a fish, a fish. A fish, a fish. What we got? A little dace by the looks of it. Little dace. We've got a fish. I don't think we'll break out the keep net just yet. No. There's one more swim on this stretch, a familiar swim we can have a go at. And then we'll have to move stretches really. But it's going to be worth it. Right, here we are. I think we'll probably call this the last swim. This is not really happening, is it? Put a little bit of census in, a little bit of gross gardons, just to get a smell in the water. If we were ledgering, I'd be fairly confident we'd have a chub out of here, but we're not ledgering. I could go and grab the ledger stuff, but no, I decided I was going to trot, so trotting it is. Now, I do like to stand up when I'm trotting, but we're so far off the water here. Right, we'll see if we can tempt anything here. We'll give it 20 minutes, maybe half an hour at the most. We'll know by then if we're going to get anything. It's a nice run through there, actually. That's running through there, lovely. Had some nice roach out of this swim in the past. Actually had a nice one on the float, so it's promising. That's gone through without dragging. A nice run through here, so we'll just get deeper and deeper and deeper until we start to drag. Easiest way to do it. A fish. Blimey, I thought we had the bottom. A fish. A fish. What we got? A roach. Oh, wonderful. That is fantastic. We found some, well, we found a roach anyway. Yay. Cracking. Well, that was second run through. That bodes well. I've put the keep net in because if I don't, we're certainly not going to catch any more. I wouldn't think. It's going to be tricky enough anyway, or it is being tricky enough. So I think we'll put that keep net in to avoid the risk of them spooking their mates. Well, phew, that would be nice. Apologies for the noise, there's some roadworks or something. We're a bit closer to them here than we were down the stretch. Fish? There's something on. Blimey, we found some fish. A slightly better one. I think we can swing him just about. Oh, now we found some roach. Look at that. Beautiful. This is what we came for. 2 rivers, 3 swims, 4 swims now. We found some fish. Wonderful. Mom white maggots, as you can see. As you can probably see. I think they're a little bit more visible. Especially in here, it's quite dark. I think red's a good target colour for fish, but they need to be able to see them, and the maggots, and obviously, and when you're trotting. I think when the maggots are running past them, it just gives them an easier or better chance to see them. They're clearly happy to feed, which I thought they would be. It's just a case of finding them. Surprised they were none in that first swim. Well, in the second swim. It's usually full of them. Certainly in the summer, it's quite deep. Microscopic dace, and that was it. Is that a bite? Yes. Just sat on that crease. Whee, lovely. Well, I call this my banker swim. It's generally good for a chub bite. Clearly, it's good for a roach bite as well. Just trot that down, tight off the rod top, and keep holding it back. There we go. Oh, missed that one. Got some slack water in here. Faster water across there. A bit of a still sort of area on the inside. You can run it down the crease nicely. We've had a couple of roach there. Or we can put it in the flow and just hold it back as it goes through. It's nice. Just trying to work out whether there's more fish hanging around in the flow or on the crease or in the slack. Very, very easy on this feed. Don't want to overfeed them. Kill the swim. Just putting 4 or 5 maggots in every run through. There we go. Oh, this is a better fish. Just held that back at the bottom of the run there. Swing him just about. Oh, that's a nice fish. Beautiful. Yeah, as I said, I just held that back then at the bottom of the swim. Just held it back hard. What I mean by that is I just trapped the line and didn't let the float go down with the flow. And yeah, under it went. This is lovely. They're not massive roach, but I haven't seen anything other than a chub for a long while now. I must get the predator gear out, that reminds me. I'm just not in the mood for predator fishing at the moment, just because it's so lovely and still. I'd rather do that when we can't trot. We're having some roach in here. Certainly found a shoaler roach. This shows you, doesn't it? Location, location, absolutely location. I can't believe that first swim we weren't in front of some fish, but it would appear that we weren't, because we're catching them in here. I'm having a bite most run through now. I'm sure there was some fish in that other swim. They're probably just tucked away under that cover. We didn't lure them out. Oh, missed that one. You're getting some bites. Can be a bit like that though, roach fishing, can't it, in the winter? I think they shoal up. You can find them. You can find them, you're laughing. There we go. Come on. Oh, pike getting you. Ooh, it's a dace. Reasonable sized one this time. Rather than the microscopic one we had last time. If you're intending on doing some trotting as well, I would strongly suggest you get some of this stuff. It's mucilin. You get it from tackle shops, you get it from Angling Direct. Makes your line float. Just good to put a bit above the float, just to keep that line so that it's sitting on top of the surface film. Just enables you to pick up the line much quicker, and also you control the float a lot better. I think we might as well use up this bit of ground bait as well that we've got here. Just want it to disperse really through the swim. I don't want to sort of get any ground bait down as such. Right, I need to control myself with this feed. I keep going to feed. Stop. It's much easier when you haven't got to use a catapult. It's easy to just throw it out. You get a bit carried away. I certainly can. Fill the place in. That is not the way to go today. Well, I don't think anyway. It wouldn't surprise me if at any minute we didn't connect with a decent chub. They certainly live in here. Roach, decent perch. Happy to get some bites, to be honest. Definitely some roach sat down there. Just quite tight into the bank. Lovely. Well, we've not caught any monsters, but this is wonderful. I'm absolutely loving this. I can't believe how many bites we're getting. Getting a bite every run through, at least one bite. And we've been fishing loads of other swims, haven't we? And we've not had a bite in them. You can understand not getting many bites and then getting loads of bites in a swim, but absolutely not a sniff. And then, say, bite every run through. It's crazy. Just shows you, doesn't it, how important location is. There's a couple of dips before that went under properly, like 5 seconds before, which I think was a minnow. I just left it. Oh, it's a dace. That's nice. Lovely. I say every cast I'm just putting 5 or 6 maggots just out in that flow. Just letting them run down. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Well, it's clouded over, as you can see. We're still getting bites, which is great. It's not going crazy. It's not a bite of chuck like it was. This feels a nice fish again. Oh, some lovely fish. Oh, that's a nice. Is that dace? That looks like a dace. I mean, we're not catching any monsters. Don't get me wrong, but it's the middle of January and we're catching fish. Can't complain. And they're not chub. It sounds like I don't like catching chub, doesn't it? Look at that. Love catching chub, but it's nice to do something different. We're getting together a nice little netful now. I'm very surprised. Talking of chub, Mr. Chub hasn't made an appearance in here. Very surprised. So I'd just come straight up here this morning rather than then going down the Avon and then trying that swim and that swim and now this one. So you come straight here. You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. Oh, hello. Hello. What's this? I think we know what he is because he's trying to get over there. We have to be very careful with this. Well, as I said, I was surprised one of these hadn't turned up. If it's what I think it is. And I think it's what I think it is. The way he's going for the cover. Oh, he's desperate to get under that tree. I say I'm having to be a bit careful. Ooh. Blimey. Ooh. Hiya. Oh, yeah, it's been all right actually. I've got one on here. I'm on very light tackle now. He's beating me up a bit. Oh, tiny hook, very light line. Got him! Hooray! That's absolutely wonderful. To have a light stick float. As I say, I'd been more surprised if we hadn't had one than today than if we had, but he was right over here. I thought he'd be hanging about over there. Right, let's have a look at him. I haven't extended this landing net long enough for it. God, he's a nice fish. Well, how's about that? Absolutely fantastic. I thought one of these would gate crash the party in this swim. That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. The dog walker was just passing, congratulated me. Bless him. That's great. Well, we've got about 10 or 15 minutes left, so who knows? He might be able to have his mate out. Well, I'm taking most of these fish on the casters that are in here. Just getting minnowed out too much on the maggots. They're just sucking the maggots to death. But with the caster on, I can sort of ignore the minnow bites for the most part. The little dips on the float and just wait till it properly goes under. Saying I was half expecting to get a chub, I'd sort of completely forgotten about it. My mind was on sort of trying to calculate what time I had to leave. And yeah, rod hooped over. Wonderful. We were never going to get away from the chub completely, were we? No, I don't mind. It's a nice bonus fish to have today. Cracking fish as well. Cracking scrap on this light gear. Size 20. Fine wire hook. Relatively fine wire. All the info and everything I'm using will be down in the description. It's definitely helping with the minnows, putting casters on. Definitely. Well, how to avoid them, I mean. Oh, I think I should put the net into that. That's the biggest roach of the day. Beautiful. The swim's just getting better and better. And I'm going to have to leave, which is very annoying. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I have got to go. I've got 15 minutes at the very most. bite of chuck now, same place the float's going down, every run through. I'm just queuing up down there now. This is where I'm queuing up down there where the maggots are getting to the bottom, or near the bottom. It's gone from being an impossible day to being a really good day. Well, day, couple of hours in this swim. I do love this swim though. There we go. Been 3 or 4 runs through for this fish. I've got to go now anyway, so I think we'll call it a day at that. Here's a nice roach, another lovely roach. How's about that? In the tree, rod in the tree. There we go, how's about that? Absolutely cracking. Well, we'll have a quick look at them before we put them back. That's been wonderful. Got a nice, you can see, nice net of silvers there and Mr. Chub. That's cracking. Some lovely roach in there. As I say, that lovely chub, absolutely fantastic. Oh, careful. Right, let's get them back. Well, after the way the session was going, that is a right result. Go on, chaps, back you go. Cracking. Yeah, after the way things were going, blimey, I thought we were on for a blank. I really did. It was, well, it's impossible. But clearly, I call this my banker swim in here. I've never caught that many roach in here before. Never caught a chub on the float in here either. So yeah, a day of firsts, session of firsts. I wish we'd come in here sooner. Still getting loads of bites. I've got to go, school run to do. So yeah, there's not going to be any putting that off. Now, we've got a few more days of similar weather conditions, and then there's a big storm coming, apparently. That's what they're saying at the moment. So I'm going to get down the Avon, I think, again. Do a bit more down there just before all the rivers come back up again. Looking like some rain, some strong winds coming. That's for next time. For now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. We got there in the end. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your wonderful support. Thanks to those people who've bought me a coffee through buymeacoffee.com. And I'll see you again very soon.